I need this done quickly and efficiently. Nothing is to be left inside.
My lord.
What?
Would you like for us to place the... well, you know...
Place him in the trophy room along with his brother. And you will do so as carefully as possible. Do you understand?
Yes, sire.
Then go on! Get to work, all of you!
Thank the gods before us. Who knows what that was all about? Wherever you are, Father, I hope you'll rescue me soon. At this rate, it won't be long before your king tires of looking at me and does something horrible. CBW Productions presents Odin's Hall. Produced by CBW. Written by Wyatt Bowden.
You should slow your step, my queen, lest you find your feet burned through your shoes. I'm finding myself short of breath just thinking of keeping up with you.
I have no time to waste. I would walk barefoot and naked into Svartalfheim itself if I believed it would help hurry all of this along.
By this, I assume you mean the task before us. I wouldn't be so anxious. After all, think of all the people we've reached today. We've done good.
Good? Good isn't enough to bring my boulder to me.
You are doing all you can.
Loki, I have no need for platitudes and...
Believe me, I share your frustration in this particular regard. Sometimes, though, the only thing you can give to an unfortunate circumstance is time. Do not overwork yourself so fiercely to bring your boy back that you may share his fate if you fail.
Would you do any less for your children?
I already am.
I suppose there is some wisdom in playing the patience route. Besides, if you can withhold yourself in hopes of success for your son, I should be able to do the same.
A wise assessment, my queen.
Why should I be fraught with worry anyway? Everyone loved my son. Heimdall?
My queen! What brings you here?
You mean to my own throne room?
Well, yes, of course. Do forgive my lack of tact, my queen. I simply was curious as to why you were here at this present moment. Last I saw, you were all galvanizing Asgard's forces and spreading them to the lower villages.
Our task has been completed. For now.
You've successfully spread the word to the kingdom to weep for your son? I thought you had only been to the upper points of the kingdom. Oh, apologies. My sight makes it difficult for me not to eavesdrop.
We've done what we can for today. And we have 2 more to accomplish everything completely. Now, only time will tell how successful it will be. Even though time is not something we have much of.
It shall be more than enough. As you said, there shouldn't be anything to cause for much more worry.
How are you able to be so calm?
I have faith in the overall plan at work.
That sounds ominous coming from you, trickster.
Must you always be so suspicious of everything he does?
Well, my queen, I must insist that in the past he has...
The past is the past. He has certainly been more help to the events of these past days than you have. Have you even discovered the cause of all these disturbances with your so-called sight?
I have not. I've informed the All-Father as much as well.
Then I suggest you focus more on the actual threats within this realm, rather than your own personal opinions of perceived threats. Where is the notorious All-Father anyway? We set out to accomplish the same task, but now the first part has been completed and he is nowhere to be found.
I'm afraid that at this current moment he is... otherwise... indisposed.
I'm afraid I will have to insist on a less cryptic answer than that.
My apologies. I'm afraid I'm unable to answer further.
You are unable to answer to your queen. Should I instead ask whom he is doing instead of helping his family? Would that help me find out where he is?
My lady, the All-Father would never...
I do not need your excuses for his actions, Heimdall. I know you are more stubbornly his servant than you are mine, so pressing you further will be as useless as pushing against a mountain. I suppose I shall just retire to my quarters for now, since all of this waiting and uncertainty has completely worn on me.
Careful, Heimdall. Should you narrow your eyes any harder, you may burn a hole through me.
Oh, if only such a thing were possible! You would have burnt long ago. If you have no further business here, I suggest you take your leave as well.
Oh, but I do. And it is you that I wish to speak with.
Me? What possible conversation could you possibly wish to have with me?
I could not help but notice how anxious you became from the moment we entered the room. Almost as if you were caught in the middle of something.
Is that all? You startled me, nothing more.
Startled? You? With your sight, is such a thing even possible?
In times such as these, anything is possible. If you have a point, I suggest you make it.
Seems to me that such a thing would only be possible if you had another pressing matter on your mind, or if you were distracted looking somewhere else. Now I wonder what could be so urgent that requires so much of your attention.
What I do, and where I set my gaze for the realm, is none of your concern.
Does it concern Javi? You usually have your nose stuck far enough up his rear. I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Who do you think you are to speak to me in this way? As if you could ever understand what I do for our king, or the magnitude of my abilities.
And what a fine job they've done thus far, invading Jotuns and Baldur's death all in a matter of days. Now, if your abilities are indeed so powerful, how could such a thing like that even happen?
It is not as though my powers are impervious to being fooled by other magics. Besides, you have no room to talk when your own son is at the center of suspicion for Baldur's death.
My son is innocent.
Huh, sure he is. Just like how you have always been innocent in every single piece of chaos you have ever caused in this and every realm.
That's not... It isn't the same.
Of course it isn't. Like father, like son, I suppose.
You know nothing of my son.
You never accept any responsibility for your wrongdoing, so how can anyone possibly expect the same from your kin? By the gods, you're a nuisance. A plague on this kingdom.
At least I have the one thing you don't in this kingdom.
And what might that be?
Javi's respect.
You insolent worm!
Careful now. Wouldn't want to do anything rash now, would we?
As if you know anything of what true respect is. The All-Father can't even rely on you to try and keep your own kind in line, while he entrusts me with the protection of this entire realm. I may have not seen what happened to Baldur, but I will be damned if I cannot help the king get justice for Hodder.
What's this about Hodder?
I can't, I shouldn't.
Has something new occurred in our absence from court? Is this why Javi has sworn you to secrecy?
Damn your infernal pestering! The All-Father can do whatever he sees fit in this kingdom, and if he decides you don't need to know about it, then it's not your place to question him.
Something has happened to Hodder. How very interesting.
Hold, my lord.
What is the meaning of this delay?
Our most humble apologies, Lord Justice Bringer, but we cannot permit you to pass beyond this point.
On whose orders?
The All-Father's, my lord.
Did he give a reason? It is his son I've come to read to.
I'm afraid we were not privy to that information. We were only instructed to not allow passage to any who wish to visit the Prince of Asgard.
This is, peculiar, but I understand. I would not wish to interfere with your orders.
We greatly appreciate that, my lord.
You two, get your lazy asses up here! We need more assistance!
By all means, don't let me keep you. Upon my honor, I won't push past where you have ordered me to stop.
Again, we greatly appreciate that.
I suppose I shall just visit another day. Excuse me, boy!
Me, my lord?
I see no one else here. Come forward to the bar so I can see you better.
Do forgive me, but I have not been spoken to since I was placed here. My own father has not even been to visit me.
Oh, you poor child. Well, I can promise you that your father's absence has not been intentional, as he has been hard at work to try and secure your release.
Oh. I see.
What's wrong?
It's just... Do you have any idea why this is happening to me? I've just been replaying everything in my mind for the last few days, and none of this is making any sense to me.
I'm afraid that at this current point in time, I am unable to speak with you about that.
Why not?
I'm afraid that certain explanations such as those are tied into my oaths with the King of Asgard. I am unable to speak overtly of matters concerning the kingdom with outsiders unless otherwise bidden.
Well, how is that right?
I'm sorry?
your king is just able to decide my fate without me knowing so much as how or why he has decided to imprison me? How is that just to the subjects of this land?
The will of a king is law. It may not always seem fair, but it is just when they are the ones who are in charge of the security and the peace of the realm.
It doesn't seem just to me. My fate has already been decided, and it's by someone who doesn't even know me. He could kill me tomorrow for all I know, and I can't even be told what I've done to him.
I am very sorry, Fenrir. That is your name, yes?
Uh-huh.
That is a lovely name. What does it mean?
I do not know.
You do not know the meaning of your own name?
Nor do I know the importance of these oaths or laws you speak of concerning a kingdom. It all just sounds so foreign to me.
Have you no means of learning or studies where you're from?
Well, I mean, there are places that provide education, but Mother always kept me away from those places.
Why would she do that? By the All-Father's ravens. Do you have more of these marks hidden beneath your clothes? Who gave you these? Who gave you these?
Mother says sometimes others treat people poorly just because they are different. I guess I'm too different for their liking.
You got these for being the son of a god? Seems your father spoke true about the dangers you faced in Jotunheim. Your mother is right. Others can be cruel to that which they do not understand. But at no point does that mean you deserve this type of treatment. Nor does it mean you should hide yourself and be denied the basic decencies of education and knowledge.
Perhaps not, but I don't see how that sentiment makes any difference in my current predicament.
I would like for you to have these then, as a start.
Are you certain, my lord? Did I not hear you say these were for the son of Odin?
I'm certain even the prince would agree that knowledge is a gift worth sharing with others who have not been able to gain it.
You are too kind, noble lord.
My name is Tyr, and I wish I could do more than just give you books to pass the time, but I shall definitely return soon to check on your progress.
Lord Tyr!
Yes?
This is embarrassing to admit, but would you mind staying and showing me how exactly I can gain knowledge from these pages?
Do you not know how to read?
Not very well.
Then that shall be your first lesson.
You mean you'll stay?
I suppose I can spare some time to educate you further on the basics. Open to the first page and attempt to sound out what you see. I shall guide you from there.
Odin's heart and mind agonized greatly over this latest tragedy. Hodor had been slain, but he knew he had not the time to dwell on the pain. Not while he still had Lady Hel's deal hanging overhead like an impending dagger. He could not even bring himself to tell anyone else of Hodor's fate. Not while everyone was still processing Baldur's death. Odin had already sworn Heimdall to secrecy for the time being, and had the body moved to his trophy room to be reunited with Baldur's. Once that was settled, he finally joined in with the Queen as they went far and wide throughout the realm, continuing to spread the instruction to weep for Baldur. All were more than cooperative. All appeared to be going well. But as we approached the final day, what news could you possibly bring to disturb me at this hour?
I'm sorry, my king, but we've just had a startling development you should be made aware of.
What?
There is one who has claimed they will not waste their tears for the prince's soul. I am only quoting them, my king. I meant no insult.
What sort of person would dare refuse my royal decree?
I know not, sire, but we thought it prudent to detain them for you.
Then be on your way for now. Have them brought before me at first light.
Yes, sire.
What sort of person would not weep for Balder of all the Aesir? I suppose we shall find out soon enough. Do you know why you have been brought to me this day?
Please, my dear, look forward to when you are being addressed by the king.
Your Highness,
My request was rhetorical! You will not speak until I give you leave to do so. I shall tell you why you have been brought before me. You have been accused of refusing the decrees of this throne. Such an act can only be construed as treasonous, and the punishment for treason is indeed quite severe. But rather than act rashly, I have been advised to confirm these allegations with my own eyes before passing judgment. Do you have anything to say in your defense? You may speak now.
I know not what to say, my liege. Treasonous acts? There must be some mistake.
For your sake, I certainly hope so. Please, enlighten our guest to her crimes.
Word was spread throughout the kingdom with the command to weep for the loss of Balder the Lightbringer. Of all the houses and all the subjects within this kingdom, you were the only one found to be unmoved by the passing of the young prince.
In fact, you were quoted as to have said that you would not waste your tears over my son.
I am not certain I understand. Are you saying I've been deemed a traitor for not crying openly?
As a subject of this court, you are honor-bound to follow all instructions given by the throne of Asgard.
But I have broken no law.
My word is law. Disobeying a direct order from me is tantamount to violating any royal proclamation.
It may not seem fair at times, but living under a ruler does mean that their word is just. Your fate is not yet sealed, however. Perhaps it would help us to know why exactly you chose to reserve your tears.
Well, to be quite honest, I do not feel sad for his loss.
You what?
I did not even know Balder. Why should I be expected to cry and command for a stranger, just because you have deemed it so?
Insolent wench!
Hold yourself steady, my king. This approach need not be so vulgar.
Why should I cry for your son? You would not cry for mine. You didn't even care about what you've already done to him.
How exactly have I wronged you and your kin? I don't even know who you are.
Exactly. You don't really know who serves you any more than we know who rules us. But we are just expected to blindly follow you while you do whatever the hell you desire. How is that just?
You will pay dearly for your defiance.
My king, please. I implore you to take into consideration...
No! I will not tolerate this disgraceful insubordination! Guards! Take her out of my sight! I should kill you for this treachery. But perhaps time in the dungeon will remind you of the importance of your duties and that of the will of those you serve.
Was that really the best course of action?
She would not listen to reason.
And where was your reasoning? All I heard was you threatening her like a common thug.
If you feel so passionately about this, then maybe you wish to join her.
And now you threaten your allies. What reason is there in that?
What reason is there in crying over this insignificant nobody? Do you berate yourself every time you step on an ant?
I just wish you would have found another way.
Perhaps there was one, but she was just as responsible for not showing respect to this court as he who rules it.
Maybe.
There is a bright side to this you are overlooking.
Which is?
She was the only one to choose not to cry, yes? Now that she's out of the way, Lady Hel can remain none the wiser, and under assumption that we have been successful when she returns.
You would lie to the goddess of death just to get your way?
It's not as though anyone would miss her. I did not even know of this woman's existence before today.
Perhaps, but...
So perhaps all will be well, and soon Boulder will be here dancing and singing with us just as he did before.
But it isn't truthful. It's deceptive and dishonorable.
Are you telling me that I should resign my son to his fate simply because it does not line up with your moral constitution?
No, of course not, my king. But I will not lie if it is a choice between going against your will and lying. I would much rather be silent.
Have it your way, then.
Father, I heard you wished to speak with me.
Tyr, I would like a moment alone with my son.
Certainly.
Why don't you go check on that other matter we were just discussing, since you were so concerned about it?
Of course. Perhaps I should.
Is something wrong, Father? Has something happened?
Too much has happened.
Father, you're starting to worry me.
Forgive me if I seem wistful, son. These recent transgressions have my mind wandering, and I find myself reminiscing over days long past.
What memories currently occupy your thoughts?
Before we had Heimdall to guard the Bifrost and watch over the realm, do you remember the builder Loki had brought to me, who claimed he could construct a device to keep out intruders to our kingdom?
Yes, of course I do.
Do you also remember what he asked for in return?
He asked for Mother's hand?
Very good. Perhaps you also remember why I was so frantically concerned with safety of the realm to begin with at that time.
Well, I'm afraid I don't...
Because I remember clear as day. Your, shall we call them, antics in Jotunheim at the time were the immediate cause for concern. Wreaking havoc and starting brawls with any you wish to lay your hammer to.
But father, they were our enemies!
And what gives you the right to slay any who oppose you? Do you not even realize the kind of incident your behavior caused?
But I did it for you!
No! You behaved as you always have, irrationally and without thought to consequences. If you truly had wished to do this for me, then you would have come to me, proposed a plan of attack. I could have advised you, or given you wise counsel on how to proceed. But instead, you just ventured off on your own without a second thought, and put us all in danger. Why you would have made such a foolish decision is still beyond me.
I only did what I thought you would do, father.
You what?
I have seen you engage in countless battles,
without giving another thought or concern to what comes next. I wanted to be a brave warrior like you.
Bravery is not the only tool a warrior needs for battle. A warrior also needs wisdom for strategy. You must always have a plan for everything you do. I do not go into any battle without exactly knowing what I can utilize to accomplish my goals.
How am I to know any of this when you refuse to guide me? You're always so quick to lecture and dismiss me, but never there when I need advice.
I lecture because everything you do worries me. I tell you something I need done, and you go so overboard that you end up doing far more harm than any actual good. So what would be the point in giving you advice? Your selfish actions in that particular instance caused me to react out of desperation and go into business with an unknown variable who I could only hope would be true to his word.
But he wasn't.
But indeed, he was not. He was, in fact, kin to those Jotuns you had slain, and wanted vengeance for their fallen brothers. Not only did your foolishness allow me to be fooled, it almost got me killed, and your mother would have been kidnapped for... who knows what.
Why are you dredging this up now, Father? We saved Mother and punished them for their deception, did we not?
That's not the point! I'm just trying to understand.
What is there to understand?
If being like me was the reason behind your actions, then what in all the 9 realms or in any variance of thought passing through your mind would have ever led you to kill your own brother?
I'm not certain.
Do not lie to me! Heimdall has seen exactly what you did, and I have witnessed what remains!
Blasted gatekeeper, never minding his own.
Do not blame him for doing as he is supposed to! I just want to know why. Why did you even think for a moment this was the proper course to take?
Because he was a lying traitor, and you were too blind to see it!
Oh, I was the one being blind?
Yes! You would rather convince yourself of anything but the truth lying in front of you, so I did what I thought was just. Maybe I do react too quickly to events, but how am I to know what is your will? You send me away so often that you change it with each passing of the seasons before I can even catch up. Am I ever privy to your reasonings? No, of course not. Thor is just a foolish blowhard that smashes things because he feels like it. Don't even bother asking how all this inconsistency affects him or how he feels to constantly be left out of everything good and blamed for everything else.
I do not involve you because you do not know how to act!
I do not know how to act because you refuse to teach. If I am a failure to you, it is only because you failed to mentor me into the man you wanted me to be. Instead, I am left to my own devices, always struggling to keep up because I'll never live up to your example!
You're right.
Come again?
I have failed you, Thor. As a father, it is not only my responsibility to instruct, but to discourage this kind of behavior. As you say, I have looked past the truth staring me in the face for far too long. But no more. I have forgiven a great many things that you have done. I have tolerated your ignorance. I have even given you great tasks to complete, hoping it would teach you the proper way of representing this kingdom. But now I see it was all in vain. For all I have done is enable you to become this petulant child that stands before me.
Now hold on!
As of this moment, I have washed my hands of you. Everything you are and everything you have become, you are nothing to me.
Don't you dare turn your back on me!
Or you'll do what? Look at you, behaving like a starved and injured animal, unsure of what to do next. You're pathetic.
Father, I...
Are you quite finished with this little tantrum?
Not nearly.
You are indeed mighty, Thor. But never forget from whom your strength was gifted.
That belongs to me.
When I gifted you this hammer, I did so with only one instruction. Do you remember what that was? My one instruction was that you always remain worthy of wielding its power. Are you certain this still belongs to you?
You're a heartless monster!
Enough!
You are no more a king than you are a father! Just a beast draped in royal attire!
That is enough! Take your trinket and remove yourself from my hole before you scuff my floors with your disgrace!
Odin! I just went to visit Hoda's cell, and he's gone. I feel as though something dreadful has happened. There was blood, and... What is the meaning of this? What are you two doing?
Thor, would you like to tell your mother about what happened to Hodor? Or shall I?
What is he talking about, Lamb?
What's this? Suddenly your tongue has gone cold. It seemed pretty lively earlier when you expressed your opinions on my shortcomings. How odd you should fall silent when having to account for your own.
Thor, do you know what happened to your brother? Is he hurt? Look at me!
Mother, I...
How could you?
Mother, please. I was just...
Don't touch me.
Mother, don't be afraid. I would never hurt you.
Wouldn't you? You killed her child. You attacked me when I confronted you. Who knows what else you could be capable of?
But, Mother...
I think you've done enough.
I'm not certain my heart can take much more of this. The first boulder is slain, and now Hoda is gone, with Thor as his killer. Why is this happening to us?
I know not, Frigg. But we have no time to think on these problems. Not with Hel's deadline fast approaching. We will have to endure for the time being.
How can you be so unfeeling? Are you not devastated by this turn of events?
Of course I am! My heart is not so hard as you believe, that I do not feel it breaking more and more with each new hardship. But despite my power, I am but one man, and I can only worry about one problem at a time. Crying over Hodor now will not help our current predicament.
I understand, but what if we ask for her to bring back Hodor as well? Surely it's possible.
And be indebted to that witch further? Not likely.
But what?
As I said, one problem at a time, Frigg. Today, we must concern ourselves with Baldur's soul. We will have to worry ourselves for Hodor's tomorrow.
I suppose so. Did Heimdall at least have any information regarding Baldur's passing? Was Hodor innocent?
He was. The queen began to cry as she could not hold her tears no matter how hard she tried. Now knowing her son had been wrongly accused and perished before his innocence could be brought to light. The All-Father wished to weep as well, but he held it in as he often did. He just held and comforted Freyja as they mourned over the dwindling remains of their family tree.
My goodness. Midday already? Oh, how I will miss these comforts after today. It's quieter than when I went to sleep. Perhaps the villagers have finally cried themselves dry. Ugh, I have to admit, All-Father, you can certainly inspire loyalty when you truly need it. Perhaps this fool's errand I've set you on may actually work in your favor. Yes? Hello? Now, isn't this interesting?
With nightfall just on the horizon for their final night of their challenge, all there was left for the king and queen to do was wait and hope and pray that their efforts would be rewarded. They both sat on their thrones, both anxious and tense. They even held each other's hands for comfort, a comfort that would soon be forgotten.
Nightfall approaches! Lady Hel is on her way!
So soon?
She must want results as much as we do.
She did express as much to me when she sent word of her arrival. Has something new happened? You both seem ill at ease.
It matters not for now. One problem at a time, right, All-Father?
I'm not sure I understand.
I'll catch you up later, brother. For now, we must all steel ourselves and remain focused. We wouldn't want anything brought up that may hinder us.
All this anticipation has my entire body shaking. I feel as though my heart may collapse from exhaustion.
Worry not, my queen, for I shall be here for you both as you bear this tribulation.
Oh dear, I mean, we are so fortunate to have your calming presence here.
Let us hope that this trying time changes to that of celebration.
There's no reason why it shouldn't.
Are you not feeling nervous as well?
A king must always put trepidation aside for a greater matters. But to be quite frank, I'm positively agitated.
It seems you have been busy, High One.
I have never been one to shy away from a challenge.
Certainly not. Of course, the prize is a bit more worthwhile than most challenges.
Do you wish to trade barbs, or shall we get to the point?
What my husband means to say is that we have completed your task just as requested. Shall we discuss further steps?
You need not mince his words, dear Freyja. I know exactly what he means to say.
Then I shall reiterate for you. Get to the bloody point!
Oh, very well. Since you insist on being absolutely no fun at all.
My son's life is being held in the balance of your compliance, and this game you tasked us with. I don't find that to be very fun.
I suppose not. I myself am having a wonderful time. But I digress. I suppose I've had enough fun during my little holiday. Still, I must say, the displays of loyalty I could witness from my window had me impressed. You truly managed to get everyone to weep for Baldur?
Indeed, everyone.
Every last man, woman, and child?
Every single one.
I see. Then why is it that I received a letter earlier today saying that you have someone imprisoned who refuses to comply?
Are you calling his integrity into question? As if the king would risk his own son's soul over something so foolish.
This prisoner you speak of is merely a dissident to the kingdom who has openly opposed my rule. They violated the will of the king and had to be detained for their crime. Nothing more to it than that.
Dear, is something the matter?
You are indeed an impressive liar, Allfather. Not a single feature on your visage betrays you. But I assure you it is quite useless to do so. No truths may be withheld from death.
Now really, my lady, would you give yourself over so easily to rumor and speculation from a mere letter? Everything I have told you is indeed the truth.
And yet, I doubt that what you have told me is the whole truth. Very well, then. If you wish to continue this stubborn charade, I will ask someone who I know will give me what I seek. My lord.
Me? But why would you wish for my assistance?
Because I know you are too scrupulous in your dedication to truth and justice. You would violate everything you stand for to be dishonest. Isn't that right?
Yes, my lady.
But telling me what you know would also betray your loyalty to the Allfather, wouldn't it?
Yes, my lady.
I see. Quite the conundrum you found yourself in. Worry not, Justice Bringer, for I have a solution that should please us both. Why don't you be a dear and fetch the prisoner, so that I may evaluate what they have to say? That way you do not have to speak at all and your principles can remain intact. Does that not sound perfectly just to you? And now we wait.
Do you really desire to make me your enemy so badly?
Odin, calm yourself. Just allow her to make her evaluation, and once she's appeased, we will move past this.
But she does not!
Thank you, dear Queen. Have I not warned you already the futility in threatening death? Besides, what is there to be so worked up if you have indeed remained as truthful as you say?
Perhaps it is my offense taken by your accusation that I am being less than truthful that has earned my ire.
Oh, is that right? Well, do forgive me for your offense. But I need to be as certain of this as it is certain that a god may die and that a deal may not always work in your favor.
Must you be so petty and cruel?
That is rich coming from you. Perhaps you are right, and that I am being a bit petty. But then again, As the sole ruler of my domain, I can do as my prerogative sees fit. And despite other matters I may still hold against you, I was rather hurt to learn that I wasn't even a consideration on your list for the very gathering where you lost Balder.
How did you...
So, while everything I have done may seem petty to you, just remember that as things stand, you are currently at my mercy. As such, you will follow my every request to the letter, regardless of how petty or cruel, if you ever wish to have hopes of seeing your child again. I see what it is you truly want to do in this moment, but you won't. Not while I hold Balder's soul. So how does it feel to not be in control of what happens next? My, that was fast.
I thought it prudent not to delay, given the severity of the situation.
And I thank you for that. Come forth, my dear.
Yes, my lady.
Don't be afraid, I won't bite. There we are. Now, tell me, dear, why has the Allfather imprisoned you?
Because I will not mourn for his bastard son.
Bastard! You impudent!
And, for my own morbid curiosity, why, pray tell, do you refuse to do so?
Well, truthfully, my lady, I did not wish to say before.
I implore you to do so now.
Yes, my lady. There was a time I once resided on Midgard before coming to this realm, and during my time there I once came across the so-called Lightbringer, and he forced himself on me.
You lie! You said you had never met my son!
Furthermore, our beautiful boy would never do such a thing. He was...
Have I asked for your input? Now then, dear, why had you not brought this up sooner?
To be honest, I only wished to forget of what happened. I had done my best to put it behind me, but once I heard that he had been killed, my heart felt overjoyed that he was finally gone.
I see. And in your own opinion, do you believe such a person should be able to walk freely through this realm again?
Never! His wretched soul should freeze for all eternity in the depths of Helheim.
Thank you, my dear. And with that, judgment has been decided.
You would render judgment for one false account?
Who's to say what is true? You who sought to deceive me in order to get what you want? Why would I believe anything you have to say in opposition?
You will bring back my son, or so help me!
Again with the threats. But we both know that all your posturing is but wasted effort, as you will not break your oaths to my father in order to harm me, will you?
My dear, please see reason. I beg you to reconsider this.
My queen, I feel how much you long for your son. That love is truly touching. However, a deal is a deal. Do not come to me with your tears as though I am responsible for this outcome. That fault lies solely with your husband.
You shut your damn mouth! I will not stand for your taunts another moment! Be gone from my realm at once!
Now, Allfather, don't be a sore loser. Perhaps we could try again with Hodir. As I understand, the dungeon has become lighter, one prisoner since last we spoke.
Get out!
I prevented a tyrant from having his way. Look at the tantrum he throws.
You would deny me my own child?
People are nothing more to you than tools you use to get what you want.
Odin, control yourself.
You will regret what you have done this day. I will make sure of it. Guards! Take the prisoner back to her cell. It does not need to be a gentle return.
You and yours are cursed, awesome king of the Azir. Mark my words, Javi. He will watch as everything you hold dear burns and crumbles to ash, and you will only have yourself to blame.
My children. They're gone. All of them.
Frigg. Damn it all, woman! What was that for? I was trying to comfort you!
Your comfort is as coarse as your heart. How could you? I defended you, and you made me look like a fool.
It is not as if I intended for this to happen.
All you had to do was follow her instructions, but instead you tried to manipulate things just as you always do. And now, because of that, our son's soul is forfeit. Yes, well done, Your Highness.
Freyja, wait! Is it best for her to be alone right now?
She clearly isn't interested in anything I have to say, so why bother? Now I would ask that you leave me be as well.
But Odin, given what's just happened, I don't really think...
Forgive my bluntness, old friend, but your silence has already done plenty this day. I doubt your words could do much better. Just leave me alone with my thoughts. Why is this happening? I just don't understand what could possibly be the cause of this. What could I have done to even begin to deserve all of this turmoil? Perhaps that mad woman was right. Maybe I am truly cursed. Wait a moment. What is it she called me? I wish to be left alone.
Many apologies, High One.
Sif?
But I thought perhaps you could use some company.
What are you doing here?
Honestly, I've been wishing to see you for days now, but I was encouraged to keep my distance for the time being.
You wish to see me? But why?
After all the pain you have endured in these many days, I was worried for you. When I heard that Lady Hel was returning to the hall, I eagerly waited nearby for what I had hoped to hear were your cries of joy, but instead all I heard were screams of anguish. I am so truly sorry for your loss.
Thank you, my dear. It makes my heart happy to hear your concern. But you should not be here now.
And yet, here I am. Here with you, who so desperately needs someone in your corner.
You dare presume to know what I need?
I do not presume to know anything. But the grief you wear on your face echoes your heart. This is exactly where I need to be. Don't push away this opportunity to escape your troubles.
Oh, I suppose I should not be so obstinate that I burn the bridge between us as well.
Tell me, what is on your mind? I ask humbly that you unburden yourself as I have done for you so many times in the past.
My mind is fixated on all that has happened. 2 children gone. A third off on his own. And every time I believe I am finally moving ahead, the rug continues to keep getting pulled further from under me. I admit, ashamedly, that I am afraid right now for the future of this kingdom. I can't even protect my own children. How can I possibly think to be strong enough to guard its people? I have been left to feel as though I am truly only fated for misery and ruin.
You should never be ashamed to admit your fears. If anything, it shows the true compassion you have for this realm and its people.
I feel foolish.
Look at you. You are so benevolent and kind that even during a horrendous tragedy, all you can think of is your kingdom. How could such a feeling be foolish? Oh, Father!
What is the matter? You told me to trust my feelings, and I chose to listen to them.
I know I did, but...
And right now, everything in me screams of how much I feel for you, who has demonstrated such kindness and affection as you always have. Fate must have finally decided to smile upon me, with whatever thought led you to come to me now. Unless, of course, I am mistaken. Did I imagine our connection growing deeper between us during the feast? Or the longing glances you made at me during and on other visits before that?
You have not. But can you really do this right now?
Why not? Do you not feel as strongly as I do?
Of course, I do. But I simply don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting this. Why do you insist upon these feelings now of all times?
Sif, if I have learned anything from these past days, it is that time can be cut short, whether challenged by destiny or happenstance. I know not of the certainty of what will come next, but I do know I must indulge these feelings I have for you before it becomes too late.
What of Thor?
What of your oafish husband? Are you not tired of constantly feeling the weight of your loneliness when he leaves you for months, attempting to perform some Herculean task in hopes to curry my favor? Favor that should be going to you.
I am, but I still think...
Do you not long for me?
I do. You may think me silly for this, but my heart has ached for you for so long that each time we would depart would become more torturous than the last. Being alone and not being with you are so painful that I know not which is worse.
I don't find that silly at all. In fact, I feel similarly.
Truly? You feel as I do?
I do indeed. And I do not wish to see you in any more pain, my dear. I want to abolish your loneliness and give you everything you deserve.
You do?
I would give you this entire realm if I could. Honestly, Sif, after all this time we have spent dancing around what we want, would it be so wrong for us to finally give in?
Well, I suppose taking an extended visit here would not do much harm to those who wait for me back on Vanaheim.
What if I were to tell you that I wished for this to become more than just an extended visit?
Oh, you cannot truly mean what you say.
I can, and I do.
But the Queen...
You need not worry of the Queen. All you have to think about in this moment is us. You poor sweet girl. You've been abandoned and yanked around realm to realm, with no real choice in the matter up to this point. I will not make this decision for you. I am simply going to ask what it is that you want.
I'm afraid nothing is that simple. I have a duty to my own people.
Oh, but it really can be just as simple as I ask you, knowing what responsibilities I bear. You may be a ruler yourself, but you are also a woman, an enchanting woman at that. You are allowed to want and desire. Tell me, dear Sif, what is it you truly desire?
In this moment, though I know I shouldn't, what I truly want is you.
Then you shall have me. But all would not be as simple as the All-Father believed. For unbeknownst to them both, they were not alone in this moment. The horrified eyes of the Queen watched quietly as her husband betrayed her further. But Odin would not know of this or care until later. All that mattered to him now was taking what he wanted from Sif. As the Queen proceeded to exit as quietly as she stumbled in, she felt her final ounce of strength give way. Odin truly had no idea how much further he had left to fall from just beyond this singular moment, or how deep his actions would drag others with him.
Odin's Hall stars Oliver Smith as the Old Man and Odin, Willa Snowbender as Freyja, Chris Aireart as Tyr, S.J. Harris as Loki, Cliff Jones as Thor, Noelle Pennison as Lady Sif, Andrea Corte as Heimdall, Colima Acevedo as Lady Hel, with Wyatt Bowden standing in as Fenrir, and IxyVA as the Unknown Villager. Featuring additional voices by Vlasto, Peyitch, and Wyatt Bowden as the Asgardian Guards. Story written and directed by Wyatt Bowden. Music scored by Pavel Grebstov. Featuring additional music by the Knighthood Project. Audio engineered by Gibby Audio. Series art by Evan Colin. Edited by Joseph E.W. Series produced by CBW Productions.